Hey guys, welcome to another Lunchtime review. Today I'm going to try this Travis Kelce's Kitchen Seasoned Brisket Burnt Ends in Barbecue Sauce. This is a 16 ounce, 1 pound, 454 gram meal. You probably can't see that because it's in plastic. This is covered in plastic. We bought this at Walmart. It was $12.78, which seems a little expensive. It was in the refrigerated section, kind of near in our Walmart at least, it was near the deli where they sell the other packaged meats like barbecues and stuff like that. Yours might not be near the deli, like in the local Walmart. Those are in the meat department, so go figure. So anyway, depends on where you buy it at. So $12 and something. Let's see what it's like. So this is there are 3 servings in the container, 230 calories per serving, and it says the ultimate Kansas City style barbecue delicacy, the mouth-watering brisket burnt ends, cooked low and slow with smoky caramelized flavor, smothered in a sweet and tangy barbecue sauce. Sounds good. So we're going to puncture the inner lining, heat for 3.5 minutes until heated thoroughly, and then let stand for 1 minute, stir, and serve. So that's all there is to it. So let me take this plastic off. Turn you down a little bit so you can see. So it's covered in plastic, or wrapped in plastic, I guess. And it's got this cardboard sleeve. And here's the actual brisket with the barbecue sauce. So what I usually do with these little pouch meals is I'll try to kind of get it down to, make it get down to one end. And then I'll pinch a little piece of this plastic. And I'll take a pair of scissors and go and cut a little V in there just to notch it a little bit, just to vent it. And then I'll kind of make sure it stays in there. So I'm going to get this in the microwave in this little tray for 3.5 minutes and I'll be back. All right, so here it is out of the microwave. Not much to look at, but here's the pouch. I'm going to get it worked down to, my little V is right there. So I'm going to work it down to here. I'm going to move that out of the way. And I'm going to dump it onto an actual plate. Let me cut it. And then I'll dump it onto a plate because it's a little easier for me to not only eat, but it's also easier for you to see what all you get. I'll tell you what, there's some huge pieces of pork in there. It is pork, right? Seasoned brisket. Is brisket a pork? I think it is. I'm gonna look to be sure. Yep, it's beef. Beef brisket. See, I don't know my brisket from my hole in the ground. So anyway, this is it. I'm not a barbecue aficionado. So you get pretty good sized pieces. You can see how big and chunky they are. They do look like big pieces of roast, so it makes sense that it's beef. So anyway, you can see the darker lines from where it was smoked too. So I'm gonna let this cool off for just a minute and take it over the table and I'll be right back. All right, so I guess if it's a beef brisket, it's a pork butt. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know about barbecues. Let me see. It's a nice thin piece. I'm gonna try a thin piece first and then I'll try a bigger hunk. So this is got plenty of sauce on it, that's for sure. I like that texture. It's really, it's good and tender, but it's got what they call a bark on the outside, that smoke layer. It's a little tougher and drier. That's actually really nice. The texture of that, you get that little, like a rough, kind of tougher edge, and then you get the really tender meat underneath it. It's a really good texture. This one's got fat on it. Ooh, I like fatty pieces of beef. That's really good. It was like half fat, half beef brisket. I like that texture. I was eating half of it before I even talked about it. It's really good. I say half of it. I still got tons left. I dropped some on the table. The texture is really nice. The beef itself is really, the brisket is really good and tender. And like I said, you get that the bark, the smoke layer on the outside that's got a little, it's a little tougher. Not necessarily drier, it's just tougher. So it adds a little bit different texture to it. and I guess that's the burnt end. And then you get the sauce, which is it's not really like super thick, sugary, like stick to everything, really thick and gloopy. It's not that kind of sauce. It's a thinner sauce. Let me see if I can. You can see it's a thinner sauce. I mean, it's thick too, but it's not like water, but it's not as thick as like a really thick sauce, which I'm happy with. I like it like this. The sauce itself, so as far as texture goes, it's really nice. It's really good texture. If you don't like the fatty pieces of brisket, there's some of those in there. I see at least 2 or 3 of them that I've seen that are really fatty pieces. If you don't like that, then you may think, oh, I'm spending $12 on something. I don't want the fatty pieces. I don't mind the occasional fat piece of beef because I can cut those off and eat it with a regular piece of brisket, and it's really good. I like the fatty pieces. So texture-wise, it's really good, and the 3.5 minutes was really nice because it was the perfect time to cook it. So it's really good and hot. The flavor of the brisket, I don't really. You taste mostly the sauce. The barbecue sauce is definitely the star of this meal or this package or whatever you want to call it. The barbecue sauce itself has this kind of tangy, almost vinegary kind of flavor. It's not like a really sweet with lots of like brown sugar or something like that. It's not that sweet. It's more got a vinegary kind of tang to it. Like it's got some vinegar and stuff like that in it, and seasonings and tomato sauce and stuff like that. So it's not a sweet barbecue sauce. It's more of a vinegar based barbecue sauce, or at least it seems like that to me. The brisket itself, the flavor of it, like I said, you don't really taste the brisket by itself. Let me see. I don't think there's any way I can get even half the sauce off of most of these pieces, but I will try. I'll give it the old heave-ho and try and see if I can really get the brisket flavor, but I don't think so. Even wiping it off, there's still plenty of sauce there. I definitely got the meat flavor in that one. A little smoky. The seasonings on the outside, like they put a rub on there that kind of reminds you of a beef jerky kind of flavor, like the seasonings and spices, like a cracked pepper and things like that. I'm not saying it reminds you of jerky because it's not that tough or anything. I'm just saying the seasonings, like the cracked pepper and garlic and onions and stuff like that, that is the flavor they used on the rubs for the meat. It seems like it to me. So you get some of that flavor in there. When you eat it with the sauce though, just know the sauce kind of overpowers some of that and you don't get as much of it. I like this. I think it's a little expensive. Sorry, I think it's a little expensive. $12.78, so almost $13. I think 2 people could possibly eat off this if you add a side to it. I can't imagine 3 people having enough here to really have a full meal, unless you have a bunch of sides to go with it, which are going to be even more money. So, I don't know. 3 people is pushing it. 2, maybe. Maybe 1.5 people, like, you know, you got one person that's gonna, like me, and gonna eat a bunch of it, and then you got one person that's only gonna eat a little bit of it. You could probably do that too, but for almost $13, it's a little high. Although I do think the quality is really nice. I think the flavor of the sauce is really good. The textures are good. Nice cook on the brisket itself. It's not dried out. It's plenty tender and moist. It's really good shape. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. I really do like it quite a bit. My only reservation would be really price more than anything, is because I think it's a little expensive. And I wish you got a little bit more of the, I don't know, that meaty brisket flavor while you're eating it instead of just all sauce, which is fine, but just know that would probably put it at a 5 if I got a little bit more of the seasoning and the flavors of the brisket itself. But overall, I think it's really good. So yeah, 4.5 for me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.